Hello, creators! What do we have for you today? A delightful apple tart! Let's get started. The problem is I have a ton of 5mm strips, but I want 2mm strips for the apple slices. So, my innovative solution is to take a 5mm strip and cut it in half, lengthwise. Not a joke. I tend to think if I can do it, you can do it. The way I do it is I watch the tip of the scissors to make sure when they close, they're at the middle of the strip. I'm not really watching where I'm cutting, I'm watching the tip. Obviously the results aren't perfect, but they don't have to be. Do the same thing with a red strip. Cut it in half lengthwise. Now take one of the off-white strips and roll it into a tight coil. Let it loosen just a little bit. Glue it shut and shape it into a semicircle. Then along the top curve, glue a red strip and trim. And that's an apple slice! Yay! Just 20 more to go! Yay! For the sides of the tart, I'm using a 10mm strip of a tan color, and I'm going to fold it into thirds. Wait. Drat, man, that is not thirds. Let's try this again. Alright, fold into thirds and then glue them together, making sure to spread the glue to the edges so there won't be gaps between the strips. Then feed that through the crimper on the big side if you have the choice. I think I made it too thick. It's kinda coming out. Is there a way to gently shove it through? Nope, looks like it's gonna be brute force. Please, don't break, little plastic crimper. There it goes. No. Oh wow, it's stuck. Just got to use my bulky finger muscles. Still works? Still works. Perfection. Totally worth it. The base is just a big tight coil. Let's move that slotted tool down a bit. Yeah, I don't want to start right at the edge of the strip for this. I would hate for the tool to slip out midway through my big tight coil. That'd be very sad. And it is big. As you can see, I estimated it would take 4 strips. I was way off. So as I'm rolling, you'll see that I'm using a tuck method instead of gluing. And what you want to do is leave enough of a tail to go all the way around again. So that way, as you continue rolling and the end of the old strip pops up, the new strip is tucked in far enough and it won't fall out. So continue rolling until the coil is 1.5 inches in diameter, which for me and my paper thickness turned out to be 15 freaking strips. All the strips I had of this color. Glue that big boy shut. Now we can figure out how long the crimp strip needs to be and cut it to size. Then I glue all around the perimeter of the base, and I recommend placing it on a flat surface while you put on the sides. That'll help the strip be even with the bottom of the base. Let that dry a bit. Then glue a layer of apples laying flat. For the top layer, I tried something like this, but I didn't like how they were standing straight up, so I tried again, where they were more slanted, which was better, but I didn't like that dark hole in the center, so off they came, and I added 2 apples in the center and redid the top layer. And yes, finally happy with it. And we have here a second tart. Ooh, with caramel drizzle. Let's see how to make this. You already know how to make the apple slices, and the base for that matter, but for this base, I'm using a darker brown. It looks more cakey, doesn't it? I thought a darker color would help the caramel show up better. And yeah, I didn't have any left of the other color. I used 15 strips again, but this paper was thinner, so the coil turned out smaller than last time, somewhere between 1 and 1.5 inches. That also meant that I needed fewer apples, 15 instead of 21. And I didn't have room to glue apples flat in the middle on the bottom, so my top layer of apples is pushed together, so there is no center hole to bother me like before. Let that dry a bit while we mix up the caramel. I'm using a dollop of Mod Podge. I'm guessing any white PVA glue would work, but I'm just not sure how shiny it'd be, and some shine is nice for the caramel drizzle. So I think I'm going to need a bit more. I have to make enough to squeeze out of a piping bag. Here I'm adding some white acrylic paint. The glue looks white already, but it dries clear, and the paint will give it some opacity. For the caramel color, I'm using some of this golden brown. Starting slow at first, just adding a little bit, but we will definitely need more. Just add a little bit at a time until you get the color you want. And remember, it will probably dry to a slightly darker shade. Here's my piping bag. I also decorate cookies, so I've got a gazillion of these, but if you don't, you could use the corner of a sandwich bag. I'm trimming it smaller, it just seems way too huge for the amount I'm putting in. I've got a clean plastic tray to put my tart on. I know from experience that dried glue will come off of it. Cut a small hole at the tip of the bag. And I'm getting some scrap paper to test that it comes out all right. Not too difficult, not too gloppy. I think it's good. And here we go. Back and forth motion for the drizzle lines. And then some very intentionally placed drips falling down the sides and pooling at the bottom. I do not like this long bit here, so I'm using a toothpick. Nope, that didn't work. Idea number 2, use a clean paintbrush. Ha, and ew, I'm wiping on my fingers. Alright, so paintbrush works better, guys. That looks so good. We'll let that dry overnight and it should be ready in the morning. Okay, let's check it out. think the color and shine are awesome. Well, it's not popping off like I had hoped. Maybe because of the paint mixed in. So let's grab a quilling needle and see if we can coax it off. There we go, that's working. So just go all the way around and then we should be able to pick it up. Look at that! So cool and so cute. Put this on a mini platter and it'll look like you just drizzled right on top of it. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.